51 here on the Big 550 KTRS. We are going to Skype with KTRS newsman Michael Golde, who is in Alton in front of the Despicable Me blimp. Michael Golde, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Good morning, McGraw.
Tell us where are you and what's going on this morning?
I'm at St. Louis Regional Airport out in Bethalto, and in front of me is the giant Despicablimp. I'm going to turn my phone, and you can see that out there. They're here promoting their new movie, Despicable Me 2, which is out in theaters today. So I'm going to hitch a ride aboard that beauty right in front of me.
All right. Now, is this is something, movies now have blimps on them? Is that what's going on here?
Apparently this movie does, but I'm told this is only one of 15 blimps in the world, so I guess there's not many movies out there with promotional blimps.
Now, when you say a blimp, this is not a hot air balloon. It's an actual blimp like the Goodyear blimp.
Yes. This is not filled, I guess, hot. In order to be a hot air balloon, that would, involve the little basket underneath and like they fly in Forest Park. No, this is an actual blimp.
What's it filled with? Do we have any idea?
Well, I know it's not filled with helium like the Hindenburg, so I think it's filled with, and they mentioned it earlier, it's not helium. I know that for sure because that's a very flammable gas, and last time that happened, it didn't go so well.
Yeah, no, the last time somebody reported from an airfield with a blimp, it didn't end all that well. No. All right, so you're going to fly in this hot air, in this blimp?
Yes, and you'll have to excuse the shaky camera. I'm actually walking to the blimp as we speak. My fellow travelers are walking ahead of me now. It seats about 6 or 7 people. They want to keep it at 6. It goes about 30 or 40 knots, and we're going to be about 1,000 feet up, which is about, the arch is 630 some odd feet, so that gives you a frame of reference.
Where are you going to go when you're in this blimp?
That's a good question. The flights are going to be kept short today because there's a long list of people who want to take a ride on this thing. So I think the flight is going to be about 30 minutes maybe. So probably just around the Alton, Illinois area.
So you're going to freak out a lot of people who are having lunch at Fast Eddie's.
Especially if they're afraid of the yellow minions, like as depicted on this blimp here. Now that I'm approaching the other side of this thing, let me give you a better shot. There you are. There's the one-eyed character on the front of the blimp.
Do you know much about this movie, Despicable Me?
I'm afraid I missed. Well, this is the sequel, Despicable Me 2, and I actually haven't seen Despicable Me 1, so I wouldn't be the expert on that.
But it's like a Weeble's Wobble, and it's on its side with like one eye right in the middle, right? That's the way to describe it.
It's a pretty good description. I mean, it's a yellow character, almost SpongeBob looking, except it's not really a sponge, and it only has one eye.
And you're going to be in, is there a basket or is there a cockpit? What is there?
It's called a gondola.
It looks more like a flight box. I'm not sure what the technical term is, but it's the little box hanging down. I'm going to turn it over as I walk toward the ship here. We're getting on board here. It's going to be getting a little loud, so I might have to cut you off. I don't know how much longer you're going to be able to hear me.
We can hear you just fine.
Enjoy the ride. Getting on the blimp as we speak. Here we are. Make my way to the back here.
You actually sound really good.
Good, I'm glad you can still hear me. It actually sounds quieter in the blimp than outside the blimp. Instructions from the pilot. Hi there, sir.
If you want to move forward one seat, there's a headphone for you. If you'd like to move up here, there's a seat with a headphone up here.
They're going to have Michael Golde sit in the cockpit.
Got some instructions from the pilot, and looks like we're ready to go. There's 4 other people on board with me this morning.
Who are the other people on board with you? Do you have any idea?
We have a local blogger. There's somebody from another radio station here in town. We just missed the TV folks. Got the first ride in the ship, of course.
Of course they did.
Of course they did. Somebody from KSTK, Scott Connell from KSTK, and Kevin Steincross from our friends over at Fox
Who's the other radio station?
It's from the Bull.
Oh, the Bull.
The Bull, yeah.
What is that guy's name?
Here is this gentleman, sir. Your name? Alex? Alex was it? There's Alex from the Bull.
Hey, Alex. I got to ask Alex, is Alex in charge of the headlines in the morning at the Bull?
Are you in charge of headlines in the morning at the Bull? Our friend McGraw Millhaven would like to know. Are you in charge of the headlines in the morning?
No, I'm not.
No,
not my choice.
Alex is not in charge of that.
Okay, because that person needs to elongate the headlines to at least 4 or 5 words as opposed to 2 words.
I will pass.
All right, now are you off the ground yet?
we are, I guess, taxiing on the runway as we speak. We're backing up. There's some guys holding down a rope. I don't know what purpose that's serving exactly.
Right.
But we're backing up and getting ready to take off.
So you're for the people who are on the radio, you're actually taxiing on a runway.
Yeah, that's correct. It was now it looks like we're kind of taxiing on grass, but.
Right. Now, we should say that Michael Golde, Casey, is in the Despicable Me balloon somewhere in Alton. So if people are driving around up near Alton, you're going to see very soon the Despicable Me blimp flying around.
I've got some fun facts.
It's also important to note, McGraw, that blimps actually have the best safety record, or so I'm told, of any aircraft. It also uses less fuel in 2 weeks than a 747 uses during takeoff. So
Yep.
a little interesting blimp fact for you.
Also, we should, while we have a second while you're taxiing, the Hindenburg was filled with hydrogen.
Hydrogen,
Yes.
not helium.
Yeah,
Yes,
you're filled with helium. Okay, there's a big difference.
Got it.
Gotcha. All right. Now, are you off the ground yet?
No, we are still backing up, but I imagine we'll be taking off
Yeah.
very soon here. Sounds like the engines are.
I want to
firing
know.
up.
I want to know why you were discriminated against. If the TV people went up already, why didn't you go with the TV people?
Well, I saw tweets from Scott over at Channel 5. He was here at about 4:30 this morning. So
Yeah.
I
guess you didn't want to do the 4:30 this morning. All right. We got about a minute and a half before we have to go to ABC News. That's Michael Golde. Stay with us, Michael Golde. Casey Joyce, you have some fun facts.
Yeah, just so you know, if you were wondering, the Despicablimp, as it's called, is 55 feet high, tall enough to stack 128 bananas on end. It is also 75 million golf balls could fit in the Despicablimp if you chose to fill it with golf balls. And it is one of 15 airships flying in the world, presumably the only one shaped like a minion.
Aha.
It seats up to 8, can go up to 45 miles an hour, and can fly up to 10,000 feet off the
We've
ground.
been given the go-ahead for takeoff here.
All right. Put the camera out the door. Let's see this thing take off.
It's starting to take off.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a broadcasting first. Broadcasting live pictures from the Despicable Me blimp here on KTRS and STLtoday.com.
And if you wondered, it's 165 feet long, which is long enough to fit 117 stuffed unicorns end to end.
I was wondering how many unicorns.
I'm here for you for that.
I was wondering how many unicorns. All right, Michael Golde, you got 30 seconds. Anything else? First blimp ride in radio history. There he is. He's up off the ground. It's actually, the technology is actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
And it's very quiet.
Really quiet.
Almost so much so I want to blow off ABC News, but there we are, up off the ground. Michael Golde, good work, broadcasting from the Despicable Me blimp. You could watch it all at KTRS.com, also STLtoday.com. It's 9 o'clock.
ABC News. I'm Doug Limerick. Army PFC Bradley Manning should soon know his fate. At this hour, he's about to go before a judge to hear his sentence for giving away a tremendous amount of classified information to WikiLeaks. ABC's Vic Ratner covering the court-martial at Fort Meade, Maryland.
Doug, the military judge, Colonel Denise Lind, has been deliberating for several days after prosecutors asked that Bradley Manning be sentenced to 60 years.
Looks like we're doing a little cleaning now. I mentioned earlier that we're going to be about 1,000 feet up. It can go as high as 10,000 feet, but we're not going to be approaching that level today. We are above St. Louis Regional Airport. You know, I was not told what the flight plan would be, but it's going to be a short flight, so here's the Bethotto water tower coming up here. Right there, you can see that. All right, looks like we're making our way over the Bethotto area right now. I'm starting to see. starting to see some above ground and in-ground swimming pools. Yeah, I can hear you. I don't know. I don't know what's happening there. No, I can hear you. I don't know why it would go bad with the when I turn the camera.